Well, hello, I am Diego Lizarazo, and today I am going to continue our conversation about the tower defense game that we have been creating. Here again is my information. Check my YouTube channel. I've been uploading all the videos of this series so far there. And quite likely soon I'm going to start posting some of the links of the different versions that we have been creating for our game. And well, let's get started. So there. So let's check the current state of our game. One of the last things that we were checking was how to create different waves of enemies. So you see here that they have like 3 enemies per wave, but also to create small different units that were different, like this purple and this red one, and that they have different speed and they have different health, and well, that they are spawned at different moments, and that's it. Also, one of the things that we added was to create a new wave if by any reason the player was able to destroy all the enemies that were on the screen. Just remember that the enemies here, they are really the same sprite. The only thing that I'm changing is the animation to make them look different, and well, basically the variables that are controlling the health of each one of the enemies and the speed. So you see that each one has a different speed. So well, that's it for right now. I recommend to check again the previous videos if you haven't checked the series. I'm going to assume that you already did, and that, well, there are many things that I'm explaining in more detail there. Now, with that being said, one of the things that I wanted to add is, like, sometimes in certain games, in certain tower defenses, you do have the chance to start a wave immediately. You want to speed up the process, and you want to you think you're ready, and perhaps you receive more points because of it or something like that, or more points or more coins. So that's a way for you to manage your risk. So what I'm going to do here is kind of like a simple way to do it, and the first thing that I'm going to add is a button that is going to be here, and I'm going to locate over here. I'm going to change what it says, so not okay, but it's going to say wave to keep it simple. And I'm going to add another button. You see that I already experimented with that a little before. So I'm going to say button on clicked. So whenever someone clicks or touches the button, if it's a touch screen, I am going to create a new wave. Now the thing is that we already had basically an entire system that we had here, well, the entire system that we had it here, this is really the one that was creating the waves, but we were copying that also in this condition, in this event, that is saying that when the count of enemies is less than 0 or equal to 0, then you start a wave. So basically these actions that we have here are the ones that we need. So it would be easier just to copy, that you can do with Ctrl+C, or let's go here and say Ctrl+C, and then paste. So you have it there. So let's see how that goes. So we have our first enemy, then we have a wave, and I'm going to wait for the next wave so you can see and I'm going to move this one here, so you can see the gap in between waves. So I'm going to wait for the next one. There you go, and right immediately I create another wave. So you see that the gap is much smaller because I am creating wave after wave, so I'm doing it really fast. So I don't know why I would like to do that. Perhaps there should be a condition that you cannot start wave, or you cannot force it until you do a certain kind of thing. So you could make this button disappear, so you cannot force the waves like that. But hey, it's going to be up to the player, and that it's going to be one of their actions, the one triggering this. So it's not going to be our fault if he gets overwhelmed. Then That's it. So that's the first thing. So I wanted to show you. It's really simple, especially with what we had. And if you want to, for me to explain, what I'm saying here is, when you click the bottom, the spawner, that if you remember is this little square over here that we're using just to be able to create things. The spawner is spawning a new enemy that is called Seeker. Then I'm finding the path for that new Seeker. I am adding 1 to how many I have created because I'm starting a new wave, so it's good to have the same number. And then I'm using this timer that is included in the spawner. I have it here. It has a timer, and that one is basically being handled in this entire series of events that we had here, this event and sub-events, that are creating constantly enemies to fulfill a wave. I'm actually going to put a comment here and say like creates enemies for waves. And I'm going to save this because I kind of like it, and I'm saving everything that we are doing so far. Tower defense 3, and today it's going to be the 8. Okay, so that's it. So well, that's a good thing. Now, since we're still talking about waves and how to make this entire system more complicated or more interesting at least, I would like to talk about levels. So right now, we do not have any limit on how many waves I'm going to be sending. We do not have any kind of control of how this, like how many waves I'm going to put there. It's a continuous attack, and well, I guess that's okay. But it would be interesting if we did have some sort of, like, let's say, way to decide how many waves I'm going to create before we move to another level. Of course, you can make this game, it's your game, just with one continuous level, and this could be the entire game, and that's fine. But if you want to create like other kinds of labyrinths, mazes, and give it a little bit more of a variety, you could create a level. So what I'm going to do is to show you something how to create a level, and then how to change the current system to just make you play a certain number of levels before a certain number of waves of waves of creeps before you move to another level. So since we already have an entire layout that you see it here that has all this setting, I'm going to reuse that one. So I hope that you have done it before. If not, I'm going to explain it here. You can right click on a layout and you can duplicate it. So I'm going to call it, well, I'm going to actually call it level 2. Level 2. And I'm going to rename the first one to level 1. Which makes sense, right? Level 1. So we start here, and somehow we're going to be able to move to level 2. So let's open level 2. It looks exactly how we saw the other one. The only difference is that I'm showing the grid, that I'm showing it here, and that's just for addition purposes. So to make it a little bit different, let's change really quick this maze. And what I'm going to do is to okay, I'm sorry. Perhaps let's move this here. Let's make this one. Oh, sorry. I'm going to decrease this one here. To change this one here, so you can see that there is a different kind of path that we are supposed to go. And let's see if well, of course this one I'll have to increase it here, something like that. So it would go something like this, then it will have to go over here. Here we don't have, and then I'm just going to do something like that. And since we are making it, I have to test if this path is going to work because I'm moving everything without the grid, which I don't think it was the smartest idea ever. but hey, we will see something like this. And so I think it's better to use the grid, just because that way we're making certain that we are, well, the enemies are going to be able to find a path. And there you go. I failed completely. So I don't know which one could be the reason for this. So I'm just going to make them, all of them, a little smaller. The ones that I have moved somehow. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the process, and I'm just going to say snap to the grid. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to duplicate this one, name it level 2, open then level 2, and then just to make certain that everything works, I am saying snap to grid. So that way I am going to be able to move things, and then it's not going to work against me, because then it should fit what we're looking for. So it should go, well, I was doing something like that. Okay, so I think what I wanted, so let me see, what is the shape? Okay, so that one goes down, so I want them now to go here. Well, to start with, I can just change the spawner. I'm going to start it in this corner, and now it's going to go down. And let's just keep it simple and do something like this. So you can tell that it's different, not a big difference, but well, let's do even more than that. It's going to be something like that, and that's it. It looks different. It's not the best maze ever, but it should work. So let's see. And you see that everything that I did before is working right. Now you see that there is a small time that it takes, because the enemies now, they have to turn. So what I'm going to do is just to change this one and to do like that. So that would be an angle of 90, and then we should have waves that are now in a different direction. So well, the point is that you can tell that now this level looks different, right? So let's go back to level 1. So you see them here too. We're going to be able, and if you don't believe me, I am just going to put here a small thing that says level 2. Okay, so we're going to be able to identify it. Now, the thing that I want is to say, like, hey, I want the enemy to, I want the player, I'm sorry, to move to the next level whenever I'm able to destroy, whenever I create, let's say, 2 waves or X amount of waves, and I'm able to destroy all the enemies. So what I'm going to say is, like, I'm going to add another variable. I'm going to say waves per level. Just because I want to test this, I'm going to say 2. Of course, I should do it more than that, but with that, it should be enough. And then, what I'm going to say is, like, I have many places where I am, okay, and then I'm going to have a counter. So this is the max amount that I have, and then I have to count how many I have created. So waves created, and I start at 0, right? So I have to create 2 waves before I move to the next level, and at the beginning I have created 0 waves. So that should be enough. With that in mind, then I'm going to say, hey, where am I creating waves? So I am creating a new wave here. Well, actually I'm saying here, but then this is where it would be perfect to create all this in a function. So I guess I'm repeating myself in many places, but I guess that that should work. Where else? So I'm going to say here add to waves created. And also I should say I'm not going to create a new wave unless I have already created all my waves. Well, or let's do it like this. Let's just do it. Well, that's something that you have to do, but I just want to say like, hey, if if the number of waves that I've created is equal or greater, well, or greater or equal than waves per level. I have created the number of waves that I wanted, and on top of that I destroy all the enemies, so this, then I should be able to move to the next level. So I am going to say system, go to layout, and this one is going to be level 2. Yes, this is not the best way to do it because this event sheet is basically shared between the two of them. So when you're in level 2, it will try to go to level 2. But right now, this is just an example. I am going to modify this and share it with you and put a little bit more of thought in it, but in the meantime, it should work. So let's go to level 1 and let's see how that works. So I am creating a new wave, and I'm going to put many towers so I can destroy all of them. Well, the problem is that I have to destroy all the enemies, so okay. Okay, so at this point I guess I have created all of them, but I'm creating so fast that I have never been able to accomplish that. Okay, yeah, I see why this is happening, and this is something that okay, got it. So let's do this. So one of the problems that I have is that I already have another event that is taken into account when I destroy enemies, and it immediately creates a new enemy. So at the moment that I destroy all the enemies, I create a new enemy, so this event never fulfills its condition. It's fulfilling this one, that the waves created is more than that, but then I'm not fulfilling this one. So what I'm going to do is to calculate how many I have destroyed. So I'm going to say add another variable, and I'm going to say enemies destroyed, and well, 0, that's fine. And then whenever I destroy an enemy, that is going to be enemy seeker destroyed on destroyed, I'm going to increase the variable that is going to be enemies destroyed, right? And then I'm going to change this condition. I'm going to change this condition, and I'm going to actually disable it. So if I want to use it in the future, I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to say if the number of enemies destroyed is more than 5, then just go to the other level. So I don't have to destroy all the enemies to move to the other level. I just have to withstand the number of waves that I added, that is 2, and then immediately it goes, because I was able to destroy 2 enemies. So you saw that it was a little bit abrupt, but well, you can manage that. Let's say this moving to the other level in a better way. Perhaps I'll think about it to do it. So right now I have just my first wave, and I have created several enemies. So let's say I'm going to put here, so whenever I'm able to destroy 5 enemies, I should do that. So this number, I'm sorry, I put it 5 just to be able to do the test. Perhaps you should calculate how many you want to destroy. Like, if you destroy all the enemies, all the normal enemies, or all the normal enemies then that you have. So, like, I don't know. You could calculate here how many have you created, and then destroy that same amount or something like that, or destroy, I don't know, 100, or you can decide exactly how much. And the same thing goes for the waves per level. And because you can control this and it's in a variable, you can change in every level how many waves do you want. So in level 1 you could say, like, I just want to make it this one really simple, and also in the second level, say, well, in the first one say two waves, in the second one say 100 waves. So the first level is more like a tutorial, the second level is full-blown attack on your enemy, on your player. So things that I have to think how to improve is how to do this entire thing. Like, perhaps I should show some sort of like a screen to say, like, hey, you won, you were able to survive this amount of enemies. I think it would be perfect to show some sort of animation to say, like, hey, I destroy all the enemies. Like, I don't know, let's suppose that you have some sort of reinforcement, so they destroy all the enemies that are left. You just have to withstand this amount, and that would be perfect. But hey, it's going to be your game. I just wanted to show how you could do it. So I think the important part is that you have to take into account this, the number of waves per enemy, per level, and then that you have to add some other condition to say when I pass this. And that's kind of it. I am going to rethink some of these elements that we have been talking about here, and quite likely I'm going to polish it for the next video, and you're going to have an even better system of waves and levels. And I think I like the concept of the levels. I think it's just that it's too basic right now, so with some additions, some polish, I should be able to create this like a better kind of game. In the meantime, thanks for your attention. Please check the rest of the videos and let me know what you think of them. Thank you.